let's get started with these questions. So the very first question that I have here, a lot of people always ask, is how long was my hair when I first started? You guys know I'm 5 years in, and I started with the comb coil method. When I started my locks, they were extremely short. They were probably half the length of my pinky, about that long. When I started, I had just chopped off all my hair from maybe about, I can't even say it was a year or so, but I had just got finished doing my third big chop, and I was pretty sure at that time, like, okay, I want to start locks. So I didn't have, like, a year or anything of hair growing. It was just very short, just enough for me to get my locks started. All right, what made you grow locks? When I started my locks, my mom had locks, my little sister had just gotten rid of her locks, and my mom's husband, he had locks, my aunt, they all had locks. Strangely enough, I liked their locks, but they weren't the ultimate reason why I got locks. The ultimate reason why I got locks, back then, I was going to the cover lot, and that song, Dirty Wine, had just came out. And I fell in love with that song so much so that people in the club, it was like maybe two or three girls in particular, they were doing the dance, and they had amazing, gorgeous, long locks, and I was just like, oh my god, I have to get locks so I can do this damn dance. So 5 years later, I have locks, and I still do not dirty wine. I have not tried to do it. Of course I tried to do it, but not in public at all. But strange enough, that's the reason why I started growing my locks. Do you tie your hair down at night? Yes and no. I tie my hair down at night when I initially do a retwist, because of course when you retwist your locks, you want it to be fresh. You think, oh, I'm going to keep up with tying it down. It's going to remove, prevent the lint from getting in there. It's going to keep my hair nice and smooth and just fresh looking. But I tie my hair down for maybe the first 4 nights, and then I get lazy and I don't anymore. So I do and I do not. It's not a routine for me. So only time I'll tie it down is if I have a fresh style that I just did. And that's it. I don't tie it down. How do you handle lint? Lint? How do I handle lint? I don't get lint that much now, because when I lived in Philly, lint was definitely a problem with being in the winter, having to wear scarves and sweaters and stuff like that, and wool jackets. Like, lint was definitely a huge problem. Even though I'm wearing a scarf right now, my back is hurting. Even though I'm wearing a scarf right now, it's not as big as, having to wear it at least half of the year because of the weather. Now, when I was there, things that I did to prevent myself from getting lint, whenever I wore a scarf, I would make sure that the scarf was a darker color. I wouldn't wear like creams or whites or anything light, because when you get that buildup on your locks, the lint, like, nobody want to be walking around and seeing that nasty fuzz on you. No, nobody got time for that shit. Pardon my French. Nobody had time for that. So I don't want to be looking at my locks and seeing, little white fuzz balls on there because I don't wore a sweater to work or my favorite scarf or whatever. So little things like that I would do to prevent my hair from getting lint. Now, when I had a situation that I did get lint, regardless of all my efforts, I would go ahead and dye my hair, because back then my tips were purple, so I would cover my purple tips and just dye the rest of my hair black to cover up any of the lint buildup. I wasn't going to sit there and try to pluck all that lint out. I didn't have the luxury or the time to do that. So I dyed my hair to cover the lint if I had any. So that was my solution to it. Let's see. Oh, crap. One thing that I wanted to show you guys. Excuse me 1 second. Be careful of the kind of materials you choose and the kind of scarves that you wear. Now, this scarf right here, I just bought this scarf for my friend yesterday. I love it, but I can't wear it. It's a infinity scarf, and it's leopard. She loves leopard. Now, I like it because it's an infinity scarf and it's leopard, but what I cannot tolerate with this, Do you see all those fuzzies? If I wear this, and I tried it on at work and I proved myself right, if I wear this scarf, I will look like the old cat lady that has 9 cats, 2 gerbils, and a pet pig. Because all these little pieces of fiber that looks like cat hair, it's going to end up on my hair. Like all this, going to end up in my hair. And it, ooh, it looks like I got great hair. No, we don't have time for that. How do you handle buildup? You need to do a clarifying rinse. You need to do some kind of clarifying treatment, some routine, some regimen to get all this out of your hair. So what I do about every 3rd wash or so, I would do a peppermint soap rinse bath. That's where I fill up my sink with peppermint. What is it? Who is it by? Dr. Bonner's peppermint soap. And I'll put clarifying shampoo. You can use VO5, you can use Suave. Really doesn't matter what brand of the clarifying soap you use, the shampoo. I mix those together in the sink with hot water, and I just dip my hair in there. I just hold my head over and let my hair soak in that bath. And as it's soaking, I like massage my locks to kind of like free up all that dirt. And if you try this, you'll see how murky the water looks. Like, I've done it quite a few times, and I'm just amazed at how much crap my locks can hold without even really seeing it by looking at my locks. But it's in there. You just have to get it out. So that's what I do. That's one thing that it's not something that you want to do every wash, because those things like strip all the moisture from your hair, and you have to go back and replenish that moisture. So just remember, when you do those kind of clarifying rinses and treatments, you want to do a deep conditioner after to kind of put some of that moisture back, especially if your hair you know, strip color from your hair. Now, when I talk about color, people ask me about this color that's to the side of my head, what brand color I use, and what color this is. This is not a color. This is just my hair being lifted. The result after I bleached my hair for about 30 minutes or so. So this is just a bleaching. This is not color that I added to my hair. This is me stripping the color from my hair. What is my favorite shampoo and conditioner? My favorite shampoo, I will say, is, I still love the Twee shampoo by Carol's Daughter. The lather on that is so rich. You don't need a lot of product to get the lather, and I love that shampoo. Another one that I like is by Organic Root Stimulator. What is it? The aloe shampoo by Organic Root Stimulator. I love the way it smells, the way it feels in my hair. It's not expensive at all. It's not as pricey as the Twee line by Carol's Daughter. I think that one is probably 15 bucks or so. So I really do like that shampoo for my hair. The conditioner that I absolutely love right now, what I'm using is by, I think it's by Organic Root Stimulator. It is the one to the aloe conditioner. You'll see it when you go into your local beauty supply store. And they also come in like those little single packets where you can just buy 1 or 2 and apply it onto your locks. I just go ahead and I buy the entire bottle. It has like this citrusy smell to it. And especially after I do a clarifying rinse, like this kind of makes my hair not feel as brittle as it feels when I'm done stripping all that dirt and gunk out of my hair. My favorite oils, when it comes to oil on my scalp, I really love, and this is probably one of the only products that I like from the Talia Waji line. I haven't tried all of them, but out of the products that I've tried, I tried the healing oil. Now that I love. I love how it smells, and I like how it makes my hair feel. So that is right now one of my favorite oils to put on my hair. It comes in a tube, actually a bottle with a nozzle on there, and you can just squeeze it into like the parts of your hair for easy application. It's kind of like an orangey oil, and it smells amazing. So that's my favorite oil for right now. I'm not too big on, you know, putting like essential oils in my hair, because I don't like those smells at all, like those musky smells. How do you prevent your locks from smelling? I stay away from those oils. Now, I think this is a misconception that we have when it comes to locks. Whenever we wash our hair, A lot of us immediately after washing our hair put oils onto our hair. Now that's where you have that problem. You create the smelling problem in the locks, because if you think about it, oil and water, they don't mix. So when you're putting oils onto wet hair, you're just letting the oil and the water sit on your hair, and then it's going to have a hard time drying, and that's where that musty, moldy like smell comes from. So whenever you want to apply oil to your hair, you should really apply it to dry hair, because your hair will take it in much better. It doesn't have the water sitting on your hair that the oil is trying to work past to get to the locks. It's getting to your locks on a dry shaft, which is much easier. I researched this maybe like a couple months ago, and I was shocked. And I actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Like, why am I putting oil on wet hair? If you ever put, like, if you have water on your arm and you put oil on it, you'll see how it doesn't take to the skin that easy. So it's the same with your hair. When your hair is wet and you put oil on there, the oil is not going to take to your hair as easy, and that's what creates that smell. Even after you just washed your hair a couple days later, your hair starts smelling a little funky because you put oil on wet hair. So that's where that problem comes in. So hopefully that's one thing that you guys learned from this video, if nothing else. Just be careful. Try putting the oil on dry hair, and you know, just do a couple of smell tests and see how your hair smells throughout the week as it goes by. My hair smells good. And that's something that I've always been cautious about, because when I first started my locks, this guy that I was going to school with, he loved my natural loose hair. He had this thing where it was like, oh man, you getting dreads, they gonna stink, dreads stink. Like, it was just a stereotype, you know, all dreads stink and stuff like that. So that was one thing that I never wanted to have an issue with when it came to my locks. So I always was kind of careful with what I put in my hair, how I applied it, the method, just taking care of it and making sure that my hair doesn't stink. So my go-to gel has been the gel that I've been using for the last 3 years. It's my Eco Styler gel. The one with the argan oil is what I just switched over to, and I love it. That's not what I just retwisted my hair with, that's itching. The one that I retwisted my hair with, I'm gonna upload the review of that product for you guys. But the one that I can always count on if I try something else and it doesn't work, what I always fall back on is my Eco Styler gel. You can get it in olive oil or argan oil. The argan oil is the one that I use right now, and I love it. It gives me a little bit of buildup, but not buildup, flakes. It gives me flakes a little bit, but honestly, to me, all gels, no matter what you use, you're going to get flakes no matter what. The reality of it, when you put this stuff on your scalp, it's going to sit on top of your scalp, and eventually it has to come up, and that's what the result is, flakes. So you have to find what you're willing to give and what you're willing to gain when you use a certain gel. So for me, when I use this gel, I'm getting a hold, but my issue is flakes. So for somebody else might be, okay, they're getting shine, but their issue is not a tight hold. So, you know, it's a give and take process. What are you willing to gain? What are you willing to not have when you use a certain product? The last question I have here is a very good one. What about frizzies? I experience frizzies every once in a while when I do not retwist my hair for quite some time. If you look at this, you can see some frizzies on there. And I actually have a video up showing how I tame my frizzies. I get my hair each lock, and I put a little bit of the gel on my hair, and I basically sit there and I wrap the hair around the lock all the way down. See how up here is less frizzier than down here? So that's my method for defrizzing my hair. Okay guys, so that was round 1 of frequently asked questions about my locks. If you guys have any other questions that you want me to answer, go ahead and post them down below, and I will make a part 2. I really don't think there's anything else that I can tell you about my locks that I haven't. So guys, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will hear from you in a couple of days. Until next time, keep rising. Bye guys. Ooh.